welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, January 7th, 2020. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. More men than women here were tested positive for HIV/AIDS in 2019. That's according to the latest statistics, which show at the end of December 2019, there was 856 persons living with the virus in SVG. Director of the National HIV/AIDS Secretariat, Ferocious Roach, said that while the overall figure would have increased, the number of persons who tested positive for the virus in 2019 dropped, and attributes this to improve HIV/AIDS programs.
In terms of the HIV epidemic, we saw a reduction in new cases as compared to 2018, because in 2018 we had 15 new cases reported, and in 2019 we had 38 new cases. Most of our activities and projects were implemented successfully, and we worked with our regional and international partners who provided us with both technical and financial support. Capacity building of healthcare workers, NGOs, and civil society members.
Rhodes said that there is a likelihood that some persons are living with the virus but still do not know their status.
I always say, if you're tested negative, we are here to help you remain negative, and if you're positive, we are here to walk you through care and treatment to help you to live a normal and healthy life. And persons who are positive, once they are on treatment and they're taking their treatment as prescribed, their viral load will be down. Even though, and I'm appealing to persons, even though your viral load is down and it's undetectable, we're still appealing to you to use condoms, because you can be at risk for other sexually transmitted disease apart from HIV.
Looking ahead, Rhodes said that they are on track to achieve an HIV/AIDS free generation and have already begun the process of elimination of mother-to-child transmission of the virus.
We are also looking forward to be validated as having eliminate mother-to-child transmission of HIV and congenital syphilis. We weren't validated with the other OECS countries. We had already drafted a report, so we're going back to review our statistics and fill in the gaps, and hopefully we should be able to apply for that validation. So that will be a major achievement once we get validated.
Infectious disease specialist Dr. Josie Davy says diet and exercise are the best ways to lose weight and gain the body one desire. Dr. Davy was speaking with our news team in relation to some of the methods being used by persons to lose weight, which in cases can create some health complications. Dr. Davy said it is important to put in the effort and not to seek a quick fix.
I think I should say that looking good is an all year round hard work. It's a lot of hard work, and people think that once they start a fitness regimen that the results are had right away, a week or 2 weeks, but that is simply not true. I can put my head on the block to tell you, you would not get the body that you desire under 3 years. Even though you're going to the gym and you're working hard, you really have to put that work in. There is no quick fix. Even though it's advertised that you take this pill, you follow this diet, once you're off of the diet or off of those pills, there's a rebound weight gain, and it's worse than what you had before. When you do gym, when you do aerobic or cardio exercise, and you combine that with weights, that's the only way with good diet that you're going to remodel your body and have the body of your dreams. So again, there is no quick fix. People look at me and they're like, Doc, what are you taking? I am taking good food and exercise. I go to the gym 4 times a week. Whether or not my eyes are open because I'm tired, I am there. This is just when you have a lifestyle and this is what you want, you just have to find the willpower to go out there and do what you need to do.
The infectious disease specialist said persons can receive professional help from dietitians in the Ministry of Health who can help to tailor a diet for individual needs, but said most importantly, persons must be disciplined.
In terms of foods, yes, I do eat my ice cream, but of course everything is controlled proportions. I don't go and have a sundae. I would have 1 scoop. Then I wouldn't take all of the things that they put on it, the sprinkles and all of that. You have to know. If you want to have ice cream today, you can't have cake. You can't have all the fruit. You have to really put these things in proportion. If you need advice, the dietitians or the nutritionists, they're excellent persons to sit down with. You may be even able to find some diets online, depending on your food restrictions. If you have allergies, if you have other diseases, then you work along with that diet. And it should be suited to you. It's not one thing for everyone. My body might like carbohydrates, but it doesn't like protein. When you eat, you have to see how you feel. If you're sluggish, and maybe something in your diet is not for you. So it should be tailored for you and only you. Your exercises tailored for you and only you.
Some persons also use weight loss pills or rapid detox programs. Dr. Davy warned against these methods, noting that there is no quick fix for weight loss.
I would always go towards the natural detox. When people tell me they want to lose weight and I ask them how serious they are if they want to do this detox program and what it really involves, when I give them the plan, they give me the eye. But for natural detox, what you should be using is fruits and vegetables only for a period of 2 weeks to a month. That is what is recommended. And we know, of course, we have the old-time aloe that is good and natural as well. But when it comes to these pills, the science behind it doesn't add up. And as I've said before, when you're finished with this diet and these processes, you tend to put on the weight. And some of them, because of the proportions of the chemicals involved, you may end up with liver damage or kidney damage. So you should be very cautious about buying products that are not totally tested or approved by the Food and Drug Administration.
In other news, the unprecedented supply of locally produced eggs has created the perfect opportunity for Vincentians to examine new ways to tackle the food import bill, and discussions will be held to find creative ways to make this increased production sustainable. So says Minister for Agriculture Subota Caesar as he spoke at a press briefing today discussing the way forward for the agriculture sector. Minister Caesar noted that during the Christmas season, there was a major increase in the supply of eggs locally, resulted in an overall drop in price. He said after some investigations, it was discovered that there were over 300,000 eggs on the market, which were more than enough to supply local demand. The minister explained that the government had to make a one-off purchase and will be looking at the way the market reacts to this purchase. He said these eggs will, however, not be made available to homes and will be earmarked for various charitable, educational and other institutions.
So what we are going to do, we are going to focus on charitable institutions, the schools and the hospitals. So the St. Benedict Nursery, Salvation Army, the House of Guadalupe, the 68 primary schools, which is 13,000 students, 125 preschools, the hospitals, the technical institutions, a lot of them doing home economics, where they could utilize these eggs and even produce different forms of pastries and cakes and resell right there in the school to raise funds for the school and to remove a lot of the imported goods, the cancals and the the cheese balls and the cheesies and the cheese twists. Do something with the egg and let us turn it around.
The Agriculture Minister said eggs is an important ingredient for many dishes made at the various hotels, thus making the product quite important to the tourism sector. A drop in prices can result in many producers going out of business, thus forcing a return to importation. With this in mind, Minister Caesar said beginning February 9th this year, discussions will be held with local stakeholders on unique ideas which will encourage sustainability.
On the 9th and the 10th of February, to address the issue of high seas fishing vessels doing their provisioning, taking stores in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for food, and for persons who go on the high seas for fishing, they need a lot of eggs. They utilize a lot of eggs, and we want to look at that as another possibility. All the issues raised by Adrian, I endorse them, and we have to have a conversation on the issue of the chill room and also other forms of value addition where we can increase the shelf life of these eggs. Some persons are saying we can put some in a liquid form and preserve them, powdered eggs.
Also speaking at today's press briefing was Chef Randy Johnson, who said in his research eggs are important in many culture and encourage Vincentians to support local.
The East, let's say Asia, because their approach to the egg is really that they see it as a source of protein and not just an egg. So a boiled egg actually goes with a meal. And if we, and I'm going to say we as Vincentians could take this approach, then we probably will import less meat and processed food and use the egg as our valid source of protein. So I will say egg in the morning, egg for lunch, egg for dinner as well, egg as a snack. If we look and see the egg as a valid source of protein, then it will create a dent in this large population of eggs that we have, floated around now.
Moving on now, we heard that the United States Embassy in Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean has put U.S. citizens on alert as a result of heightened tensions in the Middle East. The tensions referred to the assassination of Iran's military commander Qasem Soleimani, carried out on the order of U.S. President Donald Trump. Iran has vowed to take revenge for his death. In the security alert, the embassy said the heightened tension in the Middle East may result in security risks to U.S. citizens abroad, and that the embassy will continue to review the security situation and will provide additional information as needed. In the meantime, citizens are asked to keep a low profile, be aware of their surroundings, stay alert in locations frequented by tourists, review their personal and security plans, and have travel documents up to date and easily accessible, or contact the embassy in Barbados. The Public Service Union was admonished by President of Seroptimus International, Rennie Baptiste, for not properly bargaining on behalf of women in the workplace. Baptiste questioned representatives of the union present at a Women Empowerment Symposium last Friday how many representations were made by the union on behalf of women and the challenges they face in the workplace.
Trade union representation is here. In your collective bargaining agreements, at the turn of this century, and from 2010, if you have any of those agreements, either in negotiation, have you included any part in your collective bargaining agreement dealing with workplace violence? Mr. Boucher? Anybody? Examination time. Remember, Ms. B have nobody to vote for her these days, so it's okay. Can talk freely. Nobody gonna get vexed.
Batiste, who is a lawyer and former Minister of Labour, said the PSU and other unions should not wait on government to pass bills in relation to lobby, on behalf of women and their rights.
So now that you are woke for the next round, I will make the assumption that you would seek to include something in relation to it. It doesn't have to be because you are waiting on the state mechanism to ratify the convention or the passing of legislation, because you can put those terms in your agreement. Very often, there are three things at the top of the agenda of a trade union: how much money, when you get a revision for the money, and grievance procedure and adherence to the grievance procedures. So now again that you have been exposed to this learning today, that you would try to insert something in your proceedings.
But he said women also need to pay more interest in their own welfare and become knowledgeable on legislations pertaining to their rights and responsibilities and use them to their advantage.
Of the provision in the law for women to get a protection order, and for that protection order to extend to covering her at her workplace. How many persons in here have been to the family court in relation to proceedings for a protection order? Did you ask for it to be extended to your workplace? Okay. I put the presentation in this context because sometimes we are looking out rather than looking in.
The non-profit organization Junior Chamber International, JCI St. Vincent, formerly known as the St. Vincent JCs, has elected a new executive to lead the organization in 2020. The installation ceremony was held on Saturday, December 21st at the Paradise Beach Hotel. The elected officers were sworn in, pledging their commitment to serve and lead the organization in 2020 and beyond. The executive consists of President Shanice Stewart, Vice President Terrence Williams, Secretary-Treasurer Tara Richards, Legal Counsel Senator Cuthbert Tucker, and Advisor Senator Dennis Games. The Impact Justice Project is partnering with the SVG Community College to host 2 workshops this week for students of the college Teachers Education Program addressing violence and conflicts in school. The Restorative Practices workshops commenced yesterday and will end on Friday. The opening ceremony for the second workshop will be held tomorrow, January the 8th, at the conference room of the Sunset Shows Hotel, beginning at 9 in the morning. At the opening ceremony at the Sunset Shows Hotel, remarks will be made by Professor Velma Newton, Regional Project Director of the Impact Justice Project, a representative of the Ministry of Education, Director of the SVG Community College, Nigel Scott, and Dean of the Teacher Education Department, Harrieta De Silva. The Impact Justice Project has as its ultimate objective the improvement of access to justice, benefiting men, women, boys, girls, youth, and businesses across the 13 CARICOM countries in which the project is being implemented. One of the ways the project has sought to reach this objective is through the promotion of alternative dispute resolution techniques to assist persons in resolving their disputes.